We had a hard night a couple of weeks ago. It undid me. I can get frustrated, like, how can that not affect you like that's affected me? Our differences can make it hard, but they also make it bearable.
Welcome to the Grace Marriage Podcast. I'm Brad Rhodes.
And I'm Marilyn Rhodes. We're here to help you build a marriage that's stronger, more connected, and full of grace.
I'm Rick Dayton, joining Brad and Marilyn as we bring you weekly conversations designed to inspire and equip you to live intentionally in your marriage.
We'll share practical tips, powerful stories, and strategies to help you and your spouse grow closer and thrive together.
So whether you're just starting out or have been married for years, there's always room to grow. Let's do this together. This is the Grace Marriage Podcast.
Welcome to the Grace Marriage Podcast. We have an amazing therapist and amazing friend, Lauren Early, with us today. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
We're going to do something a little different. We're going to have Lauren give Marilyn and I a little therapy. Because Marilyn and I hadn't had the best couple weeks, have we, babe?
We've just been limping along with life. It's been throwing some curveballs at us.
So Lauren can fix us.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so
No pressure there. Yeah.
So Lauren, take over.
Well, why don't we just start with maybe some of the things that you are noticing in your marriage as the stressors have been hitting, the curveballs have been coming.
Well, I think you've mentioned before luggage when we talked last that we carry luggage. So I think when we're stressed and our luggage, we unpack a little more of it for each other.
Yeah.
My sensitivity, my fears. So my fuse is shorter and
it's what we've had. We have two kids graduating. A kid had a car wreck. We had a failed adoption. We've had just a lot of things happen.
Each of us with health
A lot
issues.
of things. We've had.
Yeah.
She's had health issues. I had a test come back that had some things concerning, and I've got to get testing. And
Right.
I'm an expert in handling health stuff poorly. So I'm going to write a book, How Not to Navigate COVID. But it's like, so I've been, and when I'm a little more, Marilyn might think I think our fuse is both a little shorter.
Yes.
Marilyn's been a little,
100%.
Marilyn's a little
That's what.
and I've been a little, I get kind of witty and sharp. Marilyn kind of gets, louder and quicker.
Okay.
Fair, babe?
That's fair.
Yeah. So I would, one of the things that I encourage when we're kind of in these messy situations and we're able to pause and look back and say, okay, these last few weeks have been rough. And I would encourage you each to first start and say, okay, is there something that I need to genuinely make right with my spouse? Is there something that I said, something that I did, some way that I wasn't safe for them, some way that I wasn't trustworthy for them, knowing that there's a lot hitting us both right now. So I'll give you guys the opportunity right now if there's something that you could genuinely say I'm sorry for or repent of to one another in the last few weeks.
Well, I'll go first because I've done more bad than you.
That's not true.
It's always true. Like the angel
not.
compared to me.
That's not true.
I'm sorry for being sharp. I'm sorry for not being controlling of my tongue and, just kind of being funny in ways that are kind of hurtful. I'm sorry your Mother's Day was good on gifts and bad on kindness. I'm sorry that I have not matured as much on handling stressors such that I'm able to navigate them without the water getting choppy. So, and thank you for extending so much grace because we've still gone on a date each week. We've still had some fun in marriage in the middle of this mess. And on top of everything else, we have two cars that won't work. My car I had a panic attack and gone crazy. But so,
Timing.
So what about you, babe? Repent.
I will. When I am overwhelmed, it's really hard for me to be available physically. And so that is something that I kind of retreat inward, and I haven't been as available to him in a way that's actually the most helpful way I can be to Brad. So
thank you,
will
Lauren.
you forgive me for not?
Yeah.
And then also just an example this morning, it's crazy right now, the end of the school year and all these kids and activities. And so he's struggling more and I'm struggling more. And I know deep down, it's just a manifestation of the struggle, but I got sharp with him and just kind of snapped
What'd
and
you
said,
say? What'd you say?
and I just, when Brad's struggling, he explodes all over the house, as well as our kids that are
When
home
she
from
says
college.
explode,
And
she means like I'm a mess. I
a
mean, like
mess all-
I
yeah.
dropped my pants,
That's
my
right.
shirt, I spread
Yeah, the
everything.
explosion is physical, tangible things, anything that he brings with him. So it was all over the house, and I'm cleaning up, getting mad, and I just threw it all at the bottom of the stairs and said, "Would you just please come get all your crap?" And I could have. I know he's struggling, and I'm sorry for saying that. 'Cause I
While
was like,
she's
"God."
saying that, I'm making the bed, putting the pillows in order, like I've shared past, and I thought I'm doing exactly what she wants me to do, and she's yelling at me to get my crap, which I don't have time to get right next time I take the trash cans up. So yeah, but it's
That's a manifestation that came out of me because I got a lot of fears going on
And you
right
don't
now
say
about
crap a
his
lot.
health. I don't, and my health. And our kids' struggles. I mean, that's a whole lot harder than your own struggles when you're watching your family struggle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I want you to think too, like how natural is it? Let's just do like an internal check. How natural is it to be able to acknowledge those things and say, I'm sorry out loud?
wasn't bad.
Not bad.
Wasn't too bad.
I think
Crazy.
no, and we're good at saying I'm sorry. I think we both see our flesh.
We're in a rough spot, but good spot because we
Yeah.
do get grace and we do understand it, and we know both of us are flawed, and so I do think grace covers us even in the middle of this stuff. So we've still had a fun date this week. So it's grace has made it so it hasn't spun the car off the road at all. I mean, we need to always pursue better, but yeah, I would say I'm still pretty big into you, baby.
That's pretty precious.
Sorry feels good though. It is.
It does feel good.
It's very. I mean it's like a salve on pain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the reason is because there's part of that where it's like, okay, my partner still sees me in the midst of all of this hullabaloo going on, right? My partner still sees me. And so that is priceless. And then that's what helps us to say, okay, we can continue walking in this together because I'm seen by someone who loves me and deeply cares about me and is willing to say sorry whenever there needs to be a repair.
And as you're talking, it's just like, when you get off, you don't compliment her. Like, I think Marilyn is the most beautiful human I've ever met. I mean, she hates me complimenting her in public, but just inside and out. I mean, I just think that when you get stressed and kind of get sideways, I don't share that as much. And frankly, I don't notice as much.
Right.
So if
and we actually notice each other's insufficiencies
For
more
sure.
when you're rather than the
So there is a researcher, his name is Dr. John Gottman. I know you guys are familiar with him.
Very.
But he has this concept of positive and negative sentiment override. And so I look at it as a bank account, right? So if I'm making these deposits in my marriage, even just the apology, that's a deposit. Even just you, Brad, the way that you just naturally went from the apology into also expressing gratitude, that's a deposit. The date nights, that's a deposit. So what happens is when we start making these deposits after deposits, then when life hits or when I'm just out of it and there's a withdrawal, we've got enough cushion
That's right.
in this relationship that it doesn't put us into a deficit in an overdraft, but instead it allows still for us to lean in towards one another. And so I think the problem is like whenever everything's hitting at once, we can end up in deficit really easy. And so that's where we're shorter. That's when we don't notice things. And so we have to do it more intentionally. And we have to give our partner opportunities to meet some of our needs to make those deposits. So that's why the communication part's so helpful.
That's a good word.
So the next step then I would encourage you guys to do is identify 3 positive needs. So when I say positive needs, it's not, I need you to stop doing this. I need you to quit being like this. But a positive need would be something that you need your partner to start doing or to do more of. Knowing the trajectory of your next few weeks, knowing what's happened in the last 2 weeks, what is something that would be an easy deposit, an easy win for your spouse, and something that they can succeed at, set them up for success. So who wants to go first? The 3 positive.
Marilyn, lead us off, baby doll.
Well, I'm thinking as you're saying that, I'm thinking, okay, I need to think about his greatest love language, because that's a way to make a deposit. And we share one love language in quality time, which is great. But a big, strong one for him is physical touch, which isn't mine.
Yeah.
And so that I know
Our 5 kids
that
touched her until she doesn't want to be touched anymore.
So that happens all the time, guys. It's not, don't take it personal.
so that I think, am I supposed to say what I'd like him to do? Or
I
I was just thinking about what I could do
I
for
love
him.
that you're thinking about what you could do for him, but I also want us to be able to leave room for maybe the needs to change because of what's going on right now in your world.
Okay.
So I do want you to think about specifically for you
Okay.
what you need from him in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Bring it.
Well, a few hours by myself would probably help me feel a little bit. Being an introvert, I do love just having some time alone. I've got to drive to a doctor's appointment from here, and I'm excited about the drive because I'm going to be alone. So if you can,
I won't call you.
you cannot call me. That's an easy one.
Okay. You already jumped right to it, but I was going to say, if there is need for clarification, to approach with curiosity. So Brad, if and Marilyn saying, do you have permission to say, okay, well, what does that look like for you? What does alone time look like?
Yes.
I know that. It's like alone time means alone time. It means not talking to kids, not talking to me. It means being totally by herself. Is that accurate, baby?
Yes, 100%.
Right. Okay. Can you come up with 2 more?
Can we take turns so
Sure.
I can be
So you
pondering?
can process. Yeah.
Well, I'll go with the biggest love language thing if you want to. So we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
We'll go with the feel. Like, I do think when we feel connected physically, I do think it's helpful. I can love you well when we're not, but I'm just saying it is. I feel close to you and feel like you're into me and desire me when we do come together. So that'll be my first one.
And another complication in this end is my health struggles have changed that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And so we have to, it's even harder. And so we have to be more thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
And it's just very more intentional. So that's another piece that's come into the season of our life, is that it's a little more challenging, but it's so important, and it's for both of us.
It's true.
And for me too, is it's like, don't turn down an opportunity, because sometimes when you're not doing great and we have an opportunity to come together, I'm like, I'm good. But
Right.
when you don't know when the store will open again, so just joking. But in all seriousness, I need to be more pursuing of you, but I also enjoy coming together. So that'd be my first one. You got another one for me?
Okay. I don't know. I really can't think of a second or third right now.
Pick up my crap.
Well, yes.
Okay. Okay. Look, Brad knows. Yeah. Would that be helpful?
It is helpful because yes, with 5 kids and they're not even all at home right now, but coming in and out and end of year stuff. Yes. The more help around the house, that's huge for me. Acts of service are huge. Mm-hmm. So any act of service is great.
My second would be we have so much on us right now because I'm having to get different insurance. So we have 2 cars out of whack. We've got, getting a new roof. We got roof problems here. I could keep rolling on, just in taking any of those stuff off of me, just even a couple a day. Cause it's just, I've got so much going on at work, and then I've got so many complicated things at home at the same time. And when you just take the car to the mechanic, it's like the difference between me being able to lift the weights and not lift the weights. So that would be one thing.
I can do that.
Bam.
I can take the car from here. If you can jumpstart the car, I'll drop it straight to.
Perfect.
That's an easy one.
I've been just leaving it running for an hour at a time, so I know it'll start. Hey, guys, we did Huddle House this morning. We got back. Abby, Rachel, you left the car running. I said, on purpose.
You might not start again.
Good. So good. It is beautiful too, being able to see you guys know what the other person needs is just a testament to your marriage too. So the encouraging piece of, okay, this season's hard. This season's hard, but I'm not alone in it. And I have a partner who knows some of my needs before I even say them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had a hard night a couple of weeks ago. And since I'm sensitive, it undid me. Mm-hmm. And he's not sensitive, praise God, because if we were both laying there undone, it was so helpful. Sometimes I can get frustrated, like, how can that not affect you like that's affected me?
Sure.
But I'm so thankful, like you're talking about. Our differences can make it hard, but they also make it bearable.
Yeah.
And different things undo each other. Like, you know, you were undone. I was meeting with a couple, counseling with them, and they're like, "How are you counseling me when you just found out your daughter had a massive car wreck an hour ago?" I don't know. But what's your problem? But there's no way Marilyn could have done that because she was undone. But it's just like, but the different things undo me too. You know, there's other things undo me that don't undo Marilyn, and Marilyn gives me a lot of grace with, you know, handling things poorly, and I hope I do the same for her. And you didn't handle it poorly. I mean, anybody would be a little worried when
you
your
handle things poorly.
daughter spends 3 times on I-65 and totals a car.
It would be normal to be a little undone as a mama. Yeah.
But I've got the spiritual gift of avoidance. Just pretend everything's okay. It's like my son said, better fake happy than real sad.
Yeah.
I'm joking. He did say that, but
he did actually.
It's not a good line.
It's not a good line, but that's my son. I said, "How are you always happy?" But you know, I don't. It's not natural for me to really process things emotionally. That's why Marilyn's so healthy emotionally, and I've got ways to go.
Yeah, if we think about that too, that probably creates some tension because from time to time, just because our spouse is good at something that highlights our weakness, and it challenges us to face the part of us that we don't love or that we're not great at. You know,
so true. It's like in parenting. It's like I love parenting. I just don't like to parent. You know, I mean, I love playing with the kids. I love taking them to games. I love taking them to breakfast. I love all these things. But Marilyn pushes me into my discomfort zone of like, okay, you need to have this conversation. I'm like, oh, I know. But then she'll stay with me in a graceful way until I have the conversation, which is good for me and good for our kids. I mean, Marilyn makes me a better parent, even though I don't want to. And I think I do help Marilyn with humor sometimes, maybe bring her out of her spot.
Right.
You know, it's like, you know, I try to do something to put a little happiness. You know, say laughter is good medicine. You know,
it is good medicine.
Got to give my baby a little medicine when she's sick.
Make her giggle. I do have a question. Can I approach with curiosity?
Absolutely.
So even like this morning, Brad, when I got here, like I could tell that you weren't your normal self. You know, and so I guess my question with that is like, how does that part of like, and like at first you were like, I'm like, how are you? I'm good. You know, there's been a lot going on, but I'm good. You know, it was something kind of surface level, you know, which might be appropriate, but I'm wondering how if that's the norm for you, because you kind of just alluded to like going with it and acting like things are good when really there's a struggle internally. And I'm wondering how you invite, or if you're inviting Marilyn into that place right now.
I think Marilyn knows when I'm not good, even when I say I'm good. And I know she knows I'm not good. And I just have a default. It's good because a lot of times I don't like to talk about it. Now we do, by God's kindness, have really grown in me talking about it. Like I talked about anxieties about health last night. I've got more detailed about what sparked the anxieties. You know, if you ever have a concern, just use AI and Google a lot, and it just you'll be.
It's going to give you the piece of understanding.
You'll be paralyzed within an hour. You know, so I share with her the details of that. So I feel like, I mean, you can disagree if you want, but I feel like Marilyn knows me so well that it really doesn't matter if I give a surface I'm good. She knows, and to her credit,
over time, early on, I took it personally because I think, what did I do? Because I'm a feeler. If he came in and had a bad day but said everything's fine, I could feel it, but he wasn't saying it.
Yeah.
And over one thing that he did years ago that I think has contributed to him being more open with it eventually. Sometimes he doesn't realize. Sometimes we don't know when we're struggling. Sure. But he journaled it, and then he let me read it. So because he didn't want to talk about it in the moment sometimes, and I was like, that is the best gift. I was reading it, I was like, he knows he's struggling.
That's great.
And I don't have to tell him, because sometimes I'd get frustrated and I would point it out, you're struggling. No, and that doesn't go anywhere. But I think that the practice of that helped him face the reality of it, because he does like to, like
I'm better at writing I'm being a jerk than speaking I'm being a jerk.
That's just one. So
We'll get to-
that's just an
It's
example.
the art
one.
of confessional writing.
Yes, but you hit a good question when you asked him that
Mhm.
because I think he doesn't naturally share that piece.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to burden anybody with it, and he also doesn't want to request of anything
I'm bad
to
about
be a
that.
burden.
Mm.
So it's been harder to, like, I'm easy to give gifts to. I'll tell you everything, and
I don't. For some reason, I don't like to ask for help. I don't like to ask Marilyn for things. I don't like to receive things for some reason. It's been a real struggle that we've worked on. I'm trying to be better. I don't get gifts. I'm not very. It was a great question you asked me because I'm not good at communicating what I want or what would be helpful to me. Marilyn wants to know, but I don't know if it's just a pride thing, not wanting to feel needy or not wanting to feel like I can I got this type of deal. I don't know what's below it, but there's a piece there that I've improved on, but I did say I had a good birthday this year.
You did.
Normally she dreads holidays because it just
Because I'm easy to give gifts to on holidays.
She's
and
multilingual.
That's love languages.
So you're just
Yeah.
and I can win.
Serve me, buy me stuff, and just don't touch me.
Yeah. I'm wondering, so then just noticing, like, when you guys do that positive needs thing, clearly the follow through is really important, and so you being able to say, I can do that. And I could see that as like locked in when you said, I can do that.
I got you.
And so I think that knowing, okay, the follow through, so that even the physical touch thing.
Yes. No, I was thinking
you're gonna have to be intentional,
right?
And it's gonna have to be like, okay, I'm doing this on purpose.
Yes.
Because when we give our positive needs and then we don't follow through, it just puts us right back down where there's a lack of safety and trust in our relationship, and that's the last thing that both of you need right now with everything swirling around.
Yeah, and also something I've found is if somebody doesn't follow through, it's not because they don't love you or they don't want to. It's a lot of times capacity. So there's been times when we're like, we're going to come together physically tonight. And then, boom, we have 5 kids. And then it's just, Marilyn can barely even make it to bed.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you also have to grow and giving your spouse grace and saying, it's not because they don't love me. It's not because they don't want to bless me. And then not take offense when it doesn't occur. It's got to, love always believes. And I know that if Marilyn says something's going to occur and it doesn't occur, it's not malicious. It's not because she doesn't love me. It's because of this difficult thing called life. Yeah. It's a booger.
Yeah. I think the reinforcement of communication is what makes that a win. So for example, when we're talking about physical intimacy and that's the plan, but for the night, and everybody, knows this is the plan. You both know it's the plan for the night. And then some life happens where you're exhausted or you don't feel well, it's like, okay, hey, I still want this to be our plan, in the very near future. And I still want to connect with you in this manner. Life just got in the way and I love you, like, what does that look like when we can't do it? Cause you're right. It's not always going to work, but then we communicate. So we take out the question of, it's because they don't want me,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good. We got anything else for us? You think you got us fixed?
I mean, y'all were already doing well anyway. I think life's just hard right now, and you keep doing more of what you're doing. Stay the course and that consistency. Keep seeing each other.
Well, thank you so much. It's been an honor having Lauren Early on our podcast, and thank you for counseling Marilyn and I. It's a real privilege. I feel like you get to know us a little better in our dynamic today, and that was a real blessing. And the purpose of this podcast is to motivate people to invest in marriage. So be open about your problems with other people.
Yes.
See a therapist if you need to see a therapist. There's no shame in that. I've been to a therapist and it was really helpful, and there's no stigma to it. It's like, I want to do life better. I want a better marriage. And you see a therapist. I mean, nobody gets sick and feels condemned. They're going to urgent care.
That's right.
So if you're not doing well emotionally and you see a therapist, it's the same thing. Yeah. So be proactive with your own health. Be proactive in your marriage. If you're in Grace Marriage, show up for your sessions. If you're not, get in Grace Marriage. If your church doesn't have a marriage ministry, again, I've said it before, be the persistent widow. Go to leadership and say, if we're going to have a children and youth ministry, we better have a marriage ministry, because marriage is part of family and part of family ministry. So thank you, Lauren, for being part of the podcast. It is a privilege being a friend and colleague. And it's an honor to be fighting alongside you to help people in marriages.
Same. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Grace Marriage Podcast. We really hope you're feeling inspired to take intentional steps to grow in your marriage.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us spread the message of grace and reach even more couples.
And if you have a moment, please leave us a review. Your feedback means a lot to us and helps others discover the podcast.
To learn more about how you can grow in your marriage, visit us at gracemarriage.com. Keep building stronger, grace-filled marriages.
We'll see you next week on the Grace Marriage Podcast. Until then, keep growing in grace.